We are a small family winery in an unusual part of Napa Valley, and we have an estate vineyard there that we produce Grieve Family Winery Sauvignon Blanc and a red Bordeaux blend called Double Eagle.
We bought the vineyard in 2004, and we thought it was a great place to grow Sauvignon Blanc, and it was actually the first year that it produced, so we didn't really know what we were going to get. And we only made 2 tanks, and it was fabulous. And so I convinced Vance to come on and really make it a real wine.
Lovall Valley is the coldest place in all of Napa to grow grapes. It's a bowl, cold air sinks, and so that cold air just sits in there. And that really is very, very beneficial to Sauvignon Blanc. Additionally, the soil there, because it's a bowl, as the oceans receded, some of that silty loam ocean bed stayed there. And so from a temperature standpoint and a soil profile standpoint, it is really a great place to grow Sauvignon Blanc. I think probably the best place in the United States to grow Sauvignon Blanc. 3 is very different. 97–98% of Sauvignon Blanc grown in California is Clone 2. Clone 3, or also called the Lost Clone, was developed in the 1870s, lost for a number of years in an experimental vineyard in the foothills of California, and rediscovered in the 1980s. And it's a much more exotic clone. It doesn't have the grassiness that Clone 2 does. There's more of a lemongrass character and a very pronounced stone fruit character in the wine. And that really has a lot to do with why our Sauvignon Blanc is very different from almost everything produced in California. Our viticulture and harvest methods are very unique, very time-consuming, and very expensive. Sauvignon Blanc needs sunshine on the clusters, or you have the green character of pyrazine in it. With our row orientation being directly east-west, the south side gets all the sun. So when we began, we really found out that we had to double farm that vineyard. We set the plan the first year to pick the south side, pull the leaves from the vines in the fruit zone, let that sun come through to the north side so that could color up, get rid of pyrazine, ripen up, and we would have 2 separate picks. 2 things happened. One thing was we really loved what that gave us from a flavor profile, and we also found out that we couldn't get rid of pyrazine on our own without farming that way. The first vintage, we actually took the first pick and made it 6 different ways. We had some stainless steel tank ferment, some new barrel fermentation, some once used barrel fermentation. We did a little stainless steel barrel fermentation, and then we took some of the stainless steel tank ferment down to new and once used barrels. We did the same thing on the second pick, and so we had 12 cuvées that year to blend pieces of together to make the final blend. What we found out was that the stainless steel barrel ferment we didn't like, we got rid of it. The others each brought something into that wine that we thought was important. And so since then, we have continued to use 5 of those methods. And then in 2012,
including the concrete egg.
In 2012, we added the concrete egg.
I love the concrete egg.
I do too.
It imparts a little minerality into the wine, and it isn't a huge component at this point, but it just creates that minerality that we may have been lacking, and now it's there, so it's beautiful. We're gonna keep things small. We only have a small amount planted, and it's gonna basically be what we get. I think we have a total of 17 or 18 acres planted, so we're constrained by that, and frankly, I just think that quality is everything. And with the vineyard being a low-yielding vineyard and a small amount, I want to keep it exclusive and wonderful.